Meg, thanks for joining me today. Absolutely love having you here in Florida, finally. Welcome to it.
Yes.
Now, Meg is new to Florida. Delighted that you're here. We're sharing in the magic together. Meg is actually brand new to the Disney College program. Are you excited for all things coming soon?
I am so excited. This has been my lifelong dream for forever. I really cannot think of a point in my life when I wasn't dreaming about being here in Florida, and getting to work for my favorite company, work for Disney World, is the dream come true. So I'm very excited.
I'm so excited for you. I can already feel it coming off of you. It's going to be an amazing experience for you, no question about it. One of the thoughts that I have is, as we're thinking about the transition, getting to working for Disney, but moving to Florida, I know this is something that I was thinking about it myself. I loved the move. It's something that I thought about for a long time. I was passionate about how much I loved Florida and the warm weather all the time. And there's a back and forth. But your entire move adventure, I know you vlogged it, looked like fun. Tell us about it. Tell me some of the positives, some of the things that were unexpected, some of those emotions that you felt when you were kind of transitioning from Pennsylvania to Florida.
It was definitely a roller coaster. I told you about that. For me, my biggest thing is I'm very close with my family, and that was actually the reason why I haven't honestly made this move sooner. I've told people for years, I've always felt like I am most at home being here in Florida, being here, living next to Walt Disney World. That's always what I've wanted for myself. But I never made it happen because it was just, for me, it was so hard to think about leaving family behind. But hopefully soon, my whole family is planning to move down within like a year. So I have like a game plan, and I'm like, okay, I can go ahead and do this. And the Disney College program, I recently graduated college and was eligible to do the program. You can do it when you're in school or recently graduated. So I was like, it's a perfect time. It's a good opportunity to start something new, and get to be a Disney cast member is something I've always wanted to do. So it's definitely been, though, making myself get up the nerve to do it was a challenge. It's like that whole transition, really just kind of thinking about, okay, how am I going to keep in touch with family, all of those different details, and then just even trying to figure out, okay, where am I going to live, and then go into the whole thing of, okay, how do I get furniture? It's hard to, coordinate all those dates and everything. So there's definitely a lot of different intricacies that go with a move, is what I have learned so far.
I can imagine, and I think one of the things that took me by surprise when I moved down was this mix of emotion. Because when you first think about it, you're thinking to yourself, I got this. Like, this is for me. I want to go. I'm ready for it. But then when you end up in the car, at least for me, and tell me if I'm alone here, it was just like this moment of almost panic, where it's like, what am I really doing? Like, is this what I truly want? Am I leaving? And I'm going to use this term, the comfort zone, right? Because it is for all of us. It's the comfort zone. I'm leaving the comfort zone to do something I've never done before. Did you feel that hesitation like I did?
Oh my gosh, so many times.
Okay.
Like, even up until the day before, it was like, there was points that I was actually kind of upset with myself, because I was like, I think when you dream about something so much and you have it build up in your head that it's like, it's gonna be this magical, exciting moment. And like, I think I was looking for that, and really I was getting hit with so much stress. There was a lot of things. I ended up getting a snowstorm came to Pennsylvania literally the day we were supposed to leave. So we had to delay the trip. Lots of little things, kinks in the plan that happen, and it's like you're dealing with all that stress on top of the emotions of like you're having to do all the goodbyes, saying goodbye to my family, friends, and that was very emotional. Then you have the moving itself happening. So it's definitely a roller coaster of a time. So I think it's very normal to not just be like, oh my gosh, this is great, and kind of have like, I definitely would say, leaving my very first day, like hitting the road, it's like you just have kind of all that anxiety hit you, like, is this really what I want to be doing? And you kind of just have to like keep talking yourself up, like, that this is what I want, like, it's gonna be okay, we're gonna get there.
I'm glad it wasn't just me. That's it's nice to know that it's a shared feeling there. It's something that I think a lot of friends kind of struggle with, like, is this the right thing for me? Even though you've thought about it like for years, and then all of a sudden it's like, it can be real, let's pull the trigger, and it's a flurry of emotions, but it's amazing.
Quite honestly, your moving vlog that you watched, I think I told you this, it brought me so much comfort, because in like that week before my move, I was definitely experiencing all of those emotions, having a lot of stress and anxiety with that, and I kept saying that, I was like, this is my dream, this is what I've always wanted, like it should feel different. And then as soon as like I watched that, I'm like, okay, it really like put it in perspective for me that like, okay, this is a normal feeling. Yeah, people feel like this.
I'm so glad it helped. I'm so glad it helped. It's gotta be it's one of those things. Wait till you get, so it's less than a week you've been here.
Less than a week that I've been here, but already it's like, I'm starting to relax. I'm starting to get on Florida time.
Faster than me. Faster than me, big time. Yeah, no, it's something that it changes who you are 100%. Not in a negative way, but it changes the way you look at the world.
It's a different lifestyle down here. It absolutely is.
In terms of thinking of that, what's the biggest, like you're thinking of a different lifestyle. So what's that biggest thing that either you think is going to happen with you or that you've already experienced has happened? Like again, this is your first week, so you are brand new to Florida. I remember the feeling. It's an amazing one. And even after 2 years, I keep changing, finding myself, feeling a different way about something. What's one of those things that you either have experienced already or are thinking about?
Seriously, going to the parks, it's like I have noticed a difference and I love it. It's more relaxed. Like I've always loved going to Disney. Obviously, that's why I uprooted my life and moved down here. It was for Disney, but I definitely on past trips, it was always like, I have to see everything. I have to do everything in the 7-day time period that I'm here. And now it's just like, okay, I can leave the park and I can come back tomorrow because I didn't hit that. And that will never get old for me. That is amazing.
Wait till you go one day and don't go on any rides. Have you had that day yet?
Not yet.
Wait
but okay, so that will come.
Yes,
okay?
That's coming because I'm telling you, first time you do that, you're like, wait a minute, I just went to Disney, I didn't go on any rides. It is weird. It's
but
really
you're just
weird.
Relaxed,
You're just having a good time. Like even the other day, I went to Festival of the Arts. I didn't go on a single ride. I just walked around, enjoyed the scenery, had some food, left. It was amazing.
That's awesome.
It changes your dynamic and your feelings about Disney, no question about it. Now thinking of that, I know that you create content, which is amazing. Love it on YouTube. Now when you're thinking about this, you're thinking about creating content. I know when you used to come to Disney, you would create content as the whole adventure, similar to what I did.
Right, yes.
And so now it's becoming more of while you're in the park, and there's so many advantages to that. What's the thing that you're looking forward to most when you're thinking about when you're content creation, but also being there a lot? You have so many more options, so much more flexibility. What's the thing that excites you most about that opportunity?
I am so excited to be able to post current content because usually when I would come down, like you said, I would film sometimes I would be just constantly filming. I would get 5 vlogs out of one day of vacation.
I remember
so then I would have a video that I filmed in May that isn't going up until August, So it's I'm so excited that I get to actually be okay, Festival of the Arts is happening right now and post a vlog from it. So I'm excited about that, and additionally getting to kind of document more of my lifestyle being here in Florida, because that's always something that has fascinated me as well, is there's so much Disney in itself is amazing, and obviously that's the pool of why I came here, but it's the outside areas, there's a lot of surrounding towns and just other attractions that coming down on vacation was always oh, I'd love to try that restaurant that's off property, or I would like to do this, but it's when you're here for 1 week at Disney, you just want to do Disney the entire time. So it's now I have the ability to do that. So I'm excited to document those things. And then additionally, I'm just really excited to, get to, like I said, have current content. And, I can find myself when I go into the parks, I film different now. I don't have to constantly be filming to get a bunch of content, because it's usually it's now just whatever I did this night, this is its own vlog and goes up, within the next couple days. So it's definitely a shift for me.
I remember that feeling, I really do, and it's something that I think you're really going to appreciate and love. Yeah. Now, thinking about one of the most recent hot items that you find at Disney, the Figment popcorn bucket, I'm thinking about it for a second, because it's one of those things that takes the entire community by storm. We all think about it, it made national headlines. That's how big it was. And you think to yourself, okay, I'm here now, I can be a part of this. Does merch entice you the same way, this is either way? But does it entice you the same way, or kind of has your mind set kind of shifted on this? What are your feelings about some of the big merch that now, since you're here and you have the opportunity to be there when it drops, it changes your dynamic?
I think it's going to go one of two ways.
Okay.
Having just done a move, I realize I need to pare back on things.
Yes,
because you realize when you're packing up, I'm do I have space to put these things? But at the same time, I think, when I went to actually opening day of Festival of the Arts, I was here, my parents, they were still in town. So I wanted them to be able to experience Festival of the Arts. So we were focusing on that, but maybe I would have gotten in the line, because it's I could then come back the next day and try the food and everything else at the festival. So I think there is gonna be certain things that I'm okay, yeah, I can, if I have to wait in a long line, make the time pass, call some people, talk, it's you can find ways to make time go by. Whereas if I was here on vacation and that was happening, it's no way do I want to waste my Epcot day waiting 6 hours.
100%.
But that's your whole day. So again, no, but you definitely shift with things like that as well.
So I know you're paring down. That's not a bad thing. Favorite merch though, that you love?
Well, I know you're a big Figment fan as well. He's one of my favorite characters of all time. So I think I am gonna try to get that popcorn bucket because I have a place on my desk and I'm like, I think I need that. But definitely I love anything that is Alex and Annie, any of like the Disney jewelry. That's like my downfall is like Alex and Annie bracelets, spirit jerseys. Yeah,
write that check from Disney. It goes right to the jewelry store.
You can just keep that.
Is the one at Hollywood Studios, is that like the best one? I've heard like that one. What's the one on the corner called?
Oh yes, I was actually just in it yesterday.
You can see the Tower of Terror from there. I can't remember the name of it anymore.
Yeah, it's on Hollywood. I know what you're talking about. It's on
the jewelry store right there.
Boulevard there. Yes, that's a good one. Also, Ever After Jewelry Co., which is in Disney Springs. They have like the hub of everything. That's one of my favorite ones.
All right, another one to check out for sure, 100%. Now, thinking about working for Disney now, this is big, this is exciting, and right now, Disney College program has definitely changed a lot. Are you excited about it? Tell us about what you're most looking forward to, some reservations, you're not so sure. Let me know what your thoughts.
So the Disney College program, I am so excited to get to participate in the program. It's something that I've had my sights on for years and was always, like I said, I had that hesitation of, do I want to make the move and go for it? So I always was back and forth, and it just kind of felt like the timing in my life, everything was, aligning that I wanted to go ahead and make the move. So I'm so excited to get to go ahead and do the program and actually have the experience of working at Walt Disney World. And the reason that I wanted to do the college program as opposed to coming in and just applying for full-time or part-time is I've heard you really get a lot of like networking opportunities on the college program to get to, meet leaders within the company and kind of move up and look for different opportunities to stay on after the program ends. So I definitely wanted to, kind of get my foot in the door that way by doing the college program. So it's an incredible opportunity. Like I said, I recently graduated college, so you can participate in the program up to 48 months after you graduated.
I didn't know that. Oh my gosh. Okay.
And also anyone who is currently in college, like there's a lot of people, the program is definitely a mix of people that are currently in school and they're taking classes online while working for Disney, or some people just take a semester off and spend their time doing the internship. So it's definitely a mix of people, but I've met people who, like me, are here because they wanted to do it as like a stepping stone to get to Florida, are interested in other opportunities within the company. And then I've also met people who are like, I just wanted to live in Disney World for 6 months, and then they're going back home to, they're in a completely unrelated field, like nursing or, a completely other major. But it's just something that the college program has opportunities for anybody. So I would highly recommend it.
That sounds awesome. And how long is it again, the college program?
So the college program, it can span anywhere from the shortest amount of time that I've seen is like 4 months. And the longest period of time is about 7 to 8 months. So my program is from January to August. So they range though, and when you apply, it used to be very different a couple years ago. They used to always have like the fall term and the spring term. Now they kind of have like a rolling system of you tell them like what your available dates are, the soonest that you can arrive and the soonest you can, or the latest you could depart. And then they like fit you in sometime in that ballpark. So it really makes it, if you currently are taking classes or something and need that flexible schedule, they really have made it a great system that a lot more people can get the opportunity to participate.
And I think that's big because it really has changed so much. Like I used to know that it was like, oh, it's this time. Like it's the time
you
that
knew when
college program was coming in or leaving. Like that was always how it was. But now it's like this role. It's really interesting.
Yeah, and I think it still is like, I'm coming in, I'm considered, a spring 2022 participant. So like I'm coming in January, but like there was a lot of people. My move-in date was our start date is January 18th. And so I just started today when we're filming this, but there was a lot of people that started January 10th. Then I see a bunch of people are coming in like February, March. Like they really have just like a rolling date system anymore.
Really? That's so cool. And so I'm thinking about like housing too. I know it used to be where you have to live in the designated housing. Is it still that way, or can you choose? How's that work?
You can choose. So I actually have chosen to live off property just because I wanted to be able to, I plan to stay in Florida long term after my program ends. But they do have housing that is available to you. You do have to pay for it. The rent would just come directly out of your paycheck.
Got it.
If you plan to live there it's called Flamingo Crossing. And I was just there today when I checked in, and it is beautiful. It's a very, very nice campus. So anyone who's interested, especially if you're just coming down to do the program for a short period of time, it truly is a great option.
I saw their website. It does look really cool.
They have a lot, like there was like a lazy river style pool that I saw there.
That I didn't see. All right.
This is nice. Yeah, it was very nice.
So I got to know, and this relates to me too. How long did it take so you moved down, you were here, you drove down, you arrived. How soon after did you go to the park?
Oh my goodness.
See?
It was like 2 days after.
Oh, 2 days. Okay,
I wanted to go sooner, but there was a lot of things I had to like.
Logistics. I get
Logistics
it.
and
Totally get it.
everything. But yeah, I was pretty eager to how soon did you go? Was it like
I can't
that
even remember.
next day?
I think it was either the next day or the same day. It was one of the two. No, maybe it wasn't because I drove all night. I was exhausted. It was a bad idea. By
it was
the way.
as soon as you woke up, you
but
were
it was
just like,
it was very soon after we arrived. It was like a day, maybe 1 day, maybe even 2. So similar amount of time. But it's something that it's an evolution too. One thing I recommend: go to the parks till fireworks as many times now, because when you get to a point where you've been for a long time staying for fireworks, sometimes you're like, it's okay, I'll put it off. It's okay, I'll put it off.
I've actually already done that.
You have, see, good.
I was like, we could beat traffic if we leave right now.
See, that's the problem. You get into this habit where it's like, do I really want to stay? Like I do, but I don't want to wait the traffic. You know?
Right.
It's like get home at 10. No, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like it's a serious problem. So enjoy that. Like now, it's the time to 100% enjoy that.
Have to have a designated day that it's like, this is what we're doing.
Right.
We're watching fireworks. Yeah.
And I think what happens too is when you live close by, you end up feeling like, I'm gonna go for half day. Like that's cool. And you know, when you're used to this, you'd come for the trip and you'd you were just going like 10-hour days, 5 days in a row. Like you track your steps. It's like easy 10 miles. Like easy.
It's a full workout.
Yeah.
Going to Disney.
You cannot be doing that. You cannot be doing 100%. You just drive yourself mad doing that.
Right.
So once you're here, it's a little bit different. So have you tried Publix yet? Some of the local spots?
Yes,
Okay.
I love Publix grocery store.
All
That's
right.
amazing. I love that. I've definitely been trying to explore the area and do you have any recommendations for me as to different things? I want to go to Gatorland too.
Oh, that's fun.
I feel like I would officially become a Floridian after that experience.
Once you hold a gator in your hand, and you don't have to do anything special. You just take the photo. Like there's a photo op. You just go and you can hold the gator or snake. You've become a Floridian once you hold the gator from Gatorland.
Okay, so right now I'm still not official until that happens.
I don't know. It depends on your marker, but it's close. It's somewhere in there. I don't know.
I definitely want to explore possibly Universal. I've been a couple times, but I've never been to their water park, which looks really nice, Volcano Bay. I'd like to check that out.
I'm tempted to say it's one of the absolute best.
Really?
I mean, my brother David and I talk about this all the time. Typhoon Lagoon, Blizzard Beach are amazing, but they're older. They're older than Volcano Bay, and it shows. It shows. The Volcano Bay is truly an amazing water park, and I'm not an annual pass holder at the moment for Universal. I'll be honest with you, but it's something that I've thought about simply because of Volcano Bay.
Right.
Like I like Universal parks, they're fine. But my real attraction to Universal is Volcano Bay.
Yeah, that's what is attracting me because, like I said, I've been to the parks and it's not Disney for me.
I'm on the same boat. I'm in the same boat.
Right, I'll go over there, but I'm like, now that I'm here and I have the time, I'm like, I'd like to explore it more, and definitely Volcano Bay and other theme parks as well. Like I've not been to Busch Gardens Tampa ever or SeaWorld Orlando, so there's a lot on my list that I want to eventually start ticking off.
See, this is the problem. You get caught up with all the things to do in the area, and you want to go to Busch Gardens Tampa. I still haven't been. I've not done it yet. I did SeaWorld, did Universal, did Legoland. All great.
Yeah, that looks cool.
Gatorland, Wild Florida, great spots. But I haven't been further out as much, and I really want to be doing that for sure. There's so much to see in Florida. Now, have you changed your license to Florida?
Not yet.
Yeah, see,
I'm excited
takes a while.
for that to happen. That'll be exciting.
It's exciting. It takes a little while, but it's fun. It becomes more official when you have that official
then
license.
you can just show it.
This is the real thing.
This is it.
And you walk up to the cast member at the drive up, and they see your license. Like, okay, all right, it's fine, Florida. It's
They
fine.
know that you belong here.
You belong here. You're one of us.
I think people already when we were moving in, it was actually it's been kind of chilly these past couple days.
It has.
And today it was actually cold enough. I need my winter jacket. I did break down and break that out. But the first day it was in the 60s here, and I was in a t-shirt as I was moving stuff in, and people looked at me and they're like, "You're not from here, are you?" It's you can tell who the Floridians are.
Yeah.
And eventually, I guess maybe 10 years from now, my blood will thin out and I'll be that person.
I don't think it takes that long.
Really? Are you having that already?
Oh my gosh, so 1 year goes by. You only need 1 year. You need 1 year of the extreme heat, and I would call this extreme cold for us. Went down to the 30s. It did. It got cooler. And I know that's different to Pennsylvania's 10 degrees or whatever.
Yeah.
But it got colder. But then you get to the August and Julys, and that's when your blood really thins. It's amazing. That first summer can be a little brutal, to be honest with you. But after that, you just it's like normal and it's amazing.
Interesting.
You know it's winter in Florida when people start wearing long pants.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of that this week.
Yes, it's the truth. I never wear my jeans. Like I only wear shorts. But then turning into, it's always like January. It's not December for us. It's usually like January, February gets cold, and then it warms up again. We only get 2 months of winter.
I like that.
Yeah.
That awesome. I can live with.
So you don't miss the snow?
Not at all. So I am a warm weather person.
Okay.
I've always been like that. Like since I was little, like I actually don't even know if I enjoyed like playing in the snow as a really young kid. Like I think I would go out and my mom always said, she's like, you were sick of it after like, you know,
so
a couple of
funny.
minutes. Like she's like, we're like, oh, go build a snowman. And I'm like, no, that's not my scene. Okay. So I always have just been like a warm weather person, a summer girl, so this is definitely my lifestyle down here. So I'm excited to, I don't miss the snow. My family just flew back. They were helping me move in. They just flew back today and they're going back to snow on the ground in like 17 degrees. And I'm like, they do not miss it.
Now family's gonna want to trouble you like all the time.
Exactly.
Just get ready, and I love it. Like you and me are the same. We're like we love family. It's really important to us. It's like come and visit me. It's the big part.
That's the big thing I'm looking forward to. Is like people are gonna come here because
100%.
I mean the weather.
It's a place to be. It's a place to be. Of course, it's a place to be. All right, so now that you live in Florida and you're thinking about experiencing more in the area, like SeaWorld and Universal and Legoland and Wild Florida and Gatorland, so many places. Do you think, at least in your mind, and the reason I asked this, it happened to me, do you think that Disney World will become more of your backyard and other destinations? I'm thinking Disneyland, I'm thinking Disney Cruise, I'm thinking Aulani will become more of the vacation destination.
I think absolutely, yeah. Okay. I think I will always have that thrill of going into Walt Disney World, but I've already been thinking, like I'm already checking and saying, when can I do my first Disney cruise?
See?
I have never, and I know you're a big cruise guy, Michael. Yes. I have never done a Disney cruise. I've done other cruises, but not Disney. And I've seen that you can get good like discounts and everything now living here. So I'm like, it has to officially happen. So I'm already planning to do that. And Disneyland, it's been about 2 years since I've been out there and I really want to get back out there.
D23 coming up.
I was at the 2019 D23.
Were you really? Oh,
yeah, it was awesome. So I'm definitely, that's on my radar. I would like to get back out there.
I'm hoping I can go in 2022. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. Okay.
Yeah, hopefully I'll get a chance. But they have some great discounts. Florida resident discounts for cruises.
Oh yeah.
They do. I've seen those, and those sometimes are pretty good. And what's really cool is that sometimes they'll have like, it feels like the 3-nighters, those when they get closer to the date, if you kind of just check on the website, the Disney Cruise website, sometimes they have like some inside rooms that are far less expensive. So it's just
good to know.
Yeah, it's just something to think about as you because you live in the area, so it's like, oh, can I just go this weekend? Yes, I can.
You can just drive to the port. You don't need to book a flight or okay, now I'm gonna be playing around with that.
You gotta look
give
into
me
it for
ideas
sure.
now.
100%. Thinking about Disney, I know you want to make this a long-term thing. Are we going to see? Am I speaking to the future first female CEO of the Walt Disney Corporation? Come on now, come on.
That would be amazing. I would definitely love to explore more opportunities with Disney, but I also would love to just, no matter what, I'm planning to stay here and do something, with Disney, whether it be, doing social media type stuff. That's been a big passion of mine. So if I end up doing that, but it's definitely something that, I would love that. If I could stay on and, see what opportunities they have, that'd be exciting. And that's definitely a big aspect of the program, is getting to do those networking opportunities and really explore what the future can hold.
It's a fantastic opportunity. It really is. And the people you meet along the way is a huge part of the adventure. It really is. And Disney has some amazing people who work there.
Yes.
And they have to be passionate, just like you are. They have to be passionate, for sure, of everything that you're doing, which is great.
Thank you. When I was in the environment of checking in and talking to the other Disney cast members and talking to the incoming college program people that were coming in, it's like you instantly can just so easily, make friends and make connections. And it's like everybody who's there is like in the same boat as you. You're all going through the same thing of transitioning, moving down here, and everyone just has a huge passion for Disney. And I think Disney, and I've always said this, even just with the Disney community, it's like it attracts like a certain type of person. So definitely, I just instantly, you will make friends immediately. That's what I'm seeing, is that, if you just go out and you just start talking to people, there's a great family that Disney creates with their cast members.
No question about it. It really is a family. And it's not, the cast members do an incredible job, but it's everyone in the community. It really is.
Absolutely.
And one of the things that I love, and I've heard, I've never been a cast member, but I've heard that cast members really look out for each other. It's a big part of it. And I think that you'll probably, and maybe we'll chat after a little while in the program, but it's something that I've heard quite a bit. The cast members look out for each other. You know, and every so often there's some issue, but cast members look out for each other and make sure that, you know, everybody's having a good time, everybody's safe, everybody's having fun. It's big. It really is.
That I can already see that just like within the people that I've met and talked to. It's like everyone truly does have that, like, you know, we have your back type atmosphere, and just everyone who I went to my future work location and just started talking to people, you know, that work there, and they're like, you know, anything you need, you just ask us, and you really get like that feel of just, you know, being so comfortable, like you already are kind of part of the team.
Yeah, it's a wonderful feeling. I'm glad you're already feeling that. That's fantastic. Now, in terms of creating content, back to that. I know that you've been doing it for a while and you love it. What's your favorite part about creating content at Disney, and also just kind of other content? What's the favorite aspect of it?
My favorite part, so yeah, I started my YouTube channel back, oh my goodness, probably 6, almost 7 years ago.
Wow,
and so yeah, I've been vlogging a lot of Disney trips, and truly it just began as like a way to kind of preserve like my family memories as I travel, and that seriously is still like one of the biggest parts of it for me. I love being able to, you know, have trips with my family preserved to look back on, and there's always times that we reference, like, you know, oh, did we stay there before, or did we eat at that restaurant? It's so cool to be able to like pull it back up. And I was going back through my channel the other day and I saw my cousins who are now, my cousin Kyle, he's 18 and literally 6'2" and like towers over me, and he was like down below my shoulder in the one video. And it's like, it's so cool to like, you know, see like how much of my life I've been able to kind of preserve on YouTube so far. And like, that's the big thing for me, is just kind of getting to do that. And through posting the videos out online, I've been able to create such an amazing community. Like you said, the Disney community, it's not just the cast members and people that work at Disney, it's people who create content and, you know, really just anyone who loves Disney. Like the Disney community is very, very big, and everyone, I think, in it looks out for each other. And I have made so many amazing connections with people online through being involved in the community.
One of the things that I love in terms of photography, you know, I'm thinking about how I have a huge passion for it. But when you go on trips and you go on these short trips, I'm thinking of Disney cruises, because you can't, like, you know, you can't extend those, you just go on multiple. You have to like film everything. And when you're a content creator, you've got to film you can't like stop and relax for 10 seconds and like take that slow photo. And I think living here has helped to slow, at least me, down to a point where it's like I can relax and take these photos. Like I don't have to like rush and get all the like video. Like I've gotten that video, let's take some photos now and really appreciate it. Do you have a passion, whether it's photography or something like that, outside of the videos? Like I love creating content. It's amazing, it's magical, but I know there's more to you than just creating content. There's more to all of us than just creating content. What's that thing that you're super excited about to experience in the parks that you wouldn't have had time for otherwise if you didn't live here, and you know you've got time in between making content?
I think honestly, seeing things, you know, just through my eyes, and I think, you know, I've found a good balance. Like I've been doing YouTube for a while, and like I love it. Like I love making videos, so like that's why I wouldn't have been doing it, you know, in the parks as often as I was if I didn't love it. But it is nice, you know, just to be able to like, I went into the park the other day and like I just walked around, enjoyed myself, you know, I spent time with my family, we got on a couple rides, and I didn't vlog any of it. And it was just kind of like seeing it, you know, with my own eyes and not thinking about, I think sometimes even when you have the camera, and even if you're like just looking at things, but you're holding the camera, you're thinking about like, oh, what would be a good shot? What's gonna be the next thing that I'm gonna take? And so it's like when you're telling yourself like, I'm not gonna film this ride, like I just filmed this ride last week, so I'm not gonna show this. You kind of get to, you know, have that experience. And I know that's a big thing that you've talked about.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Getting to just experience the park, just enjoying it. And I think that is one of the most amazing things about moving here, is that I can now let myself have those moments.
Right. It's oh my gosh, I'm so glad you brought it up, because I can't tell you how many times I've gone on a ride and looked at the ride through my phone.
Sad. Yes.
It is like you forget how much you love it and what makes it so fantastic. Now, in terms of some of the things that we do in the parks now that require our phones, there are some great aspects of it. There are some cool things, but in your preference, if you're thinking about what you prefer, just your preference, is it I'm trying to think of a good like live interaction. You know, in the Winnie the Pooh ride where you can like move the honey, it's probably a bad example, but it's like, you know, like real life things,
like
in
a
the
physical
queue. Like
aspect.
a physical aspect.
Physical, yes.
I don't know, something to keep you busy in like in a way that's like actually there, right?
Yes.
And I'm also thinking, actually, Disneyland, they have this, I guess it does involve your phone, but you can change the color of
the Mickey's fun wheel, yes.
With this game.
That.
And yes, it does involve the phone, but you also get something in real life.
Physical, right.
So my thought for you, do you prefer more of like the real life thing, or do you like I mean, look, there's positives to it, no question, but which one do you prefer?
I prefer the real life
Real
thing.
life.
I think that is just, really something that I worry about, seeing when we do have so much technology. I think it's all about finding that balance and keeping, in check that I just need to now be able to enjoy watching the fireworks without looking at my phone or without taking a picture. It's sad. I was in Epcot last night and I saw there was 2 little kids that were just watching a video on their iPad as Harmonious is going on. I'm like, you're in Disney World, watch the fireworks. So I think it's just something that kind of just as a society, we need to be more mindful of, that, you really need to just take that time and look at things. And I think it's gonna be one of those things that, Disney, it's great what they can do with technology and having, your My Disney Experience app and everything, but it's just one of those things you kind of have to almost carve into your vacation. Like, okay, when I'm waiting in line, I'll get in and check the wait times or do this, but then having set time, that's okay, now I did all the stuff I need to do on my phone and I can just enjoy now.
And it's good to hear that even though you're big on social media, I know that you love it, I know that you're very passionate about it, you still are all about the real experiences. And you went to Disney when you were younger, right? When you were a kid?
I did, yes.
Okay.
I've been born and raised Disney. My family, they've been Disney people. My parents actually honeymooned at Disney.
Okay.
And,
See,
they brought
similar.
me into this
it.
whole thing, yes.
So you know what it's like to fall in love with the place and not have to be on your phone. Because when you were younger, I'm sure it was the same thing where it's phones really hadn't been to a point where you could do anything with them, especially barely take photos.
I don't even know if my parents had a cell phone
when
we first came into
that Razor phone took a horrible photo. It's just so grainy. But now people are shooting movies on phones, and it makes sense. I've made many YouTube videos on my phone, and it's something that I think needs to be addressed, not just in the parks, but all over. This is a wider than the parks issue, and you and I can talk about it. I'm not sure we're going to solve it today, but it's one of those things that we think about a lot, and we're trying to find a solution for. And I know there's a happy medium, but it probably comes down to the day-to-day interaction and how we use it and how we limit it. Do you, just by reference, do you have one of those timers on your phone where it times how long you're in each app? Have you tried that?
I have not set that up yet.
Okay.
There's certain days where I'm
maybe you have more self-control than I do. Maybe you have more self-control. I don't know. I just I feel like I fall into the rabbit hole.
That is the scary thing. You can just get on Instagram and it's you're just
forever.
Scrolling. Yeah, and
forever.
it's did I accomplish anything? Yeah.
Okay, see, I feel like it's you lose self-control because you're just scrolling all day. I don't know. It's one of those things that there's a positive, no doubt. I think there's also potential things that could be done better, but we're all human beings, right? It's part of the process.
I think it's like I said, it's something that I think we just as a society have to get mindful about. And I think, when people do come on a vacation to Disney, I would hope that that's kind of almost the reset of realizing okay, we can have family time and enjoy ourselves without looking at our phones or having things. There's so many things, and I think about with kids, like I said, I saw those 2 kids that were on their iPad, and I remember my mom was saying to me, she's you never, well, back then we didn't even have, that wasn't even an option
and the
to have
tech
that.
was
But she's
so bad.
Right, if there was something, it was not, it probably was a portable DVD player that was this big to bring in or something. But I can remember, she was you never, it was we just looked around, and if you were waiting in line, we talked about Disney is designed to have so many little nuances that you can look and take in. So it's that's what, you got to disconnect and take in those details that have been placed there for 100%. You to. The Imagineers have all that, figured out. Just a queue line in Disney even has so many things to, take in and enjoy and just really, take that time in line to look around.
Makes me think of that blueprint we saw I don't know if we actually had a ride associated with it, but you remember that Haunted Mansion blueprint we saw way back when? Or maybe it wasn't Haunted Mansion, but it was a different attraction, where the idea was that cast members would be able to customize the experience based on your facial expressions.
I remember that.
Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you think that given everything we've seen today, and everything that, we're kind of on our phones more than anything else, do you think that something like that will still come to life, knowing that you'd have to actually change something physically and not just, you know what I mean? Either go down a different track, or maybe it's something you do on your phone. You know what I mean? I feel like there's a line here where you can either go in the phone direction, or you can go in changing something in real life direction.
Right. That would be so interesting to see, how would they manifest that technology?
Right.
And it's are people very expressive? When you've ridden Haunted Mansion, so many times, it's are you gonna react? Or how is that gonna be?
I would try every facial expression to create
to create every
scared
possibility.
And happy and sad and bored. And
they'll come through for the 50th time, and they'll be where are we gonna send him now?
Right. Well,
he's used all the options.
Oh gosh, it's so funny. It's so funny. Now that you have this experience, and that you're here, and that you're in Florida now, and I know you're loving it, and I remember those feelings. It's an amazing one. Do you think about how in the future you might one day want to go back to Pennsylvania or live somewhere else? Or is like, when you think about it, just like a holistic view, do you think that Florida's the place you want to live forever?
Yeah.
Okay.
Florida is the place I want to live forever. You know, like I said, the only reason that I haven't gotten here sooner, it was like I never wanted to leave my family.
I get it. No, I'm
very grateful. My parents are both retiring next year.
That's awesome.
So I'm in like a 1-year countdown now that then they're going to be getting ready to sell their house and move here. So it's like I know that they'll be here, and hopefully my other relatives will then be able to come down and visit a lot more.
And I'm sure they're going to want to come all the time. Your parents will be here all the time.
Yes,
and
exactly.
Seeing you and all that. It's great. I think that family is such an important factor here, and I'm glad to hear you say it because, you know, I think about Disney, I think about my family. It's the first thing I think of when I think of Disney, and I'm hopeful that forever Disney becomes the place for families, since it was built literally for that purpose. Right. It's something that I think we can all relate to, and sometimes, you know, some of us get very fortunate in the family department. Others create families out of others, which is fantastic. But it really is a place to create connections with others, and I think it's something that it highlights everything that we love about Disney.
Yeah.
No question about it. One of the things that I struggled with when I moved down was eating on vacation mode. That was for me. You know, it's one of those things that. I don't know if you haven't been here that long, so it's just fortunate. But one of the things I was thinking about, like, you can't eat as if you're on vacation all the time.
All the time.
That's my biggest problem.
I worry about that too.
See, it's not just me. It's like I want to have a Dole Whip every day, but I can't have a Dole Whip every day. So it's like I had to limit it down to like, every 2 weeks that wasn't working. Every 3 weeks that's not working. You know what I mean? So it's like I think of all the things that I think about, that's like it's not a negative. It's not a negative. It's more of those I have to rethink how I think things. That's the one that comes to mind for me. Is it that one for you that comes to mind when you're thinking about the transition from a vacation destination to where you live, or is it something else? Is it the amount of money you spend on merchandise? I had to cut that down for myself too. You know, is it the way you approach the parks? What is it for you?
For me, I can think of two things. I think the merchandise, because that's a perfect example of the Figment popcorn bucket. I was like, I really want that.
Right.
Like, that's really cute, but I'm like, is there going to be other things?
Right,
so like,
right.
I'm trying to find a balance, you know, with that, and like not, you know, when I come on vacation, it's like usually I've saved up money, and like, you know, I have like my little fund of like, this is my Disney fun money. And it's like, now I'm in Disney all the time. Like, so that's definitely something that I've like been worried about. I'm excited though, as a cast member, we do have the Cast Connections.
That's right.
Store, which
Special
is like the
store,
ultimate, you know, outlet store where all the clearance merch goes. So hopefully I can get some stuff in there. And then the other thing, like just looking at the parks in a different lens and kind of like, I kind of worried about like, how am I gonna, you know, balance everything, is I think for me, like creating content, because like I already said, like, you know, I had that moment in the park where I was like, you know, I'm gonna just disconnect, I'm not gonna vlog anything. Good. And I had that moment, but it felt kind of weird, like, and I don't know if you feel like that, but it's like, it feels weird. It's almost like something's happening. I'm like, oh, shouldn't I be doing this, like filming this? I definitely have that moment. It
was real for me, and the first time I went to the park without a camera at all, I mean, like, I had my phone, but I had no camera. It felt like I was naked. I felt like I was missing something. I was like, I kept reaching, like, wait, did I leave my camera on a ride? Like, where is it? Like, it was constantly, one of my hands, I was like, which one is it? Like, where's my camera? I'm losing it.
Because you get used to, you have a whole system of like where you carry it.
I carry
like,
it here, I always have it with me. I set it here when I'm eating, like the whole thing. And so when you start going, and you've been going for a long time with your camera, it makes a huge, huge difference.
Yeah,
and so,
I can see that already.
But I have to admit, you have a G7X, I've seen it.
Yes, G7X Mark II, which I love. So it's more compact. Then yeah, you are committed. You've got a whole workout here with your camera that you bring to. I'm very impressed.
Yeah, it's a big one, but it's the night shots, and I really kind of value the photography part of it. Oh, yeah. But I also am very envious of your style, where you just get the story. I feel like that's even bigger, because in the end, do we really care? Like, 1080p versus 4K, do we care? No, I don't care. What I really want to see is the story. So I think I've had, for many, many times, I've thought about going to that style. So don't think that that's less of a camera. That is, some of the recent videos you've seen from me have been on my phone. I have literally filmed them on my phone. Oh. This is why I got the 13 Pro Max. Yeah, and you convinced me to get the 13 Pro. After I saw some of your vlogs from the 13 Pro, I then went out and I bought the 13 Pro. It's amazing. Wait till you try it, and you'll just like have one of these ad hoc days where it's like, you know what, I think I will film this, and it's fun. It's nice for when you want to be like, you know, more discreet or not have, like, I vlogged some of my check-in day today when I went for my Disney College program, and I didn't want to, you know, make people uncomfortable, have like a big huge camera or anything. I just wanted to, and I also didn't have my full like backpack
backpack that I usually have all my gear and everything. So I was like, I could just have my phone with me. I can pull it out of my pocket and just, take little clips and talk and just pretty much document for myself.
Sure.
Like you said, capture that story and not, make people uncomfortable. Like here I come in with my whole setup and everything. So it's definitely, there's so much value in being able to just vlog on your phone, which it's amazing to think how far iPhones have come with their technology. Like, it's incredible what iPhone 13 can do.
It's true, 100%. And I'm glad to hear you say that, because when I go on cruise or one of these, adventures, I am often thinking like, okay, I don't want to like ruin someone else's vacation with my camera. And so that is one of the negative parts. You have to, and the G7X, I admit, is easier. Mine, I've taken it all over, and people see it, it's like, okay, wait, am I going to be in some movie somewhere? It's, so there's...
Do I sign on to be an extra?
Right, I might think, oh, okay, where do I sign to be an extra? No, it's one of those things that it's a little easier when you have a small camera. It really is. It really, really is. Now, thinking more about the college program, because I know a lot of people are interested in it. My sister has thought about it several times. Yes, she has. I know she should. I talked to her. What kind of roles are most popular with the college program? And tell us more about your role, if you can.
So with the college program, there is many different roles that you can get. And it used to always be, so a lot of things have changed with the college program just since it came back, since the shutdown and everything, and they brought back the college program. There's been a lot of changes to it. It used to always be that you got to have preferences of like what type of role you got to be in. So you kind of got to say, like, if you knew you wanted to be a photo pass photographer, you could like put very high preference in that and then like lower preference in other things. Now everything has changed, and Disney places you wherever they need you at the time when you come in. So it's a big surprise. So I found out that I got accepted to the program back in September.
Wow, okay.
And I didn't find out what my role was until about like 2-3 weeks ago, and I just got here now in January. So I was on eggshells like that entire time, but it's exciting. It's like, you open up that email and you're like, what am I going to be doing? There's so many different opportunities within the college program. People can work in attractions, which is working at any one of the rides in any of the parks. There's also merchandise sales, as they call it now, which is any of the shops at any of the resorts or the parks, any of that. Parking is one that you can get. Custodial is a role that you can get. Front desk at the hotels is something you can get.
Oh, really? Okay, wow.
There's a lot of different opportunities. So yeah, it's right now everything is random, but maybe in the future they'll revisit that you can kind of pick and get placed where you want. But I have talked to some people too, and especially if you're planning to stay on after the program, I've talked to people that said, you can kind of move around and then look for opportunities to move into the area that you really want to be a part of. So my role, I'm going to be a house person at Port Orleans Riverside, which I was so excited when I found out that I got placed working at Port Orleans Riverside, because that is actually the very first resort that I ever stayed at.
That's awesome.
A kid. Like, I was in kindergarten on my very first Disney trip, and we stayed at Port Orleans Riverside, and actually stayed there in, like, I'm pretty sure like all through elementary school, like all my earliest trips to Disney. And so I just have so many like family memories there, and it really, I just went there the other day since I arrived here to Florida. I just went to, walk around and just see what it was like and revisit it. And I was like, it just feels like it is like that early 2000s like Disney vibe. I love it over there. So I'm very excited to be doing that. So my actual role, it's kind of like I'll know more once I get started, but I do any type of task that they have me doing. It could be delivering items to a guest room if they request extra towels or shampoo or anything like that. I also heard you get to drive the golf carts around.
That's awesome. There you go.
Which I love, and so I'm very excited for that.
Well, we'll wave at you if we see you around Riverside. When I'm getting a beignet, I'm be like, all right, where's Meg? Where's she at over here? That's awesome.
I talked to somebody today when I was checking in, and they were like, oh, you're gonna be at Riverside. They're like, make friends with the chefs over at French Quarter. Maybe they'll bring you a beignet. I'm like, that's a good plan right there.
I love it. I love it. Now, I have to imagine that they're probably going to use some of the special skills. So if you say for a minute that you went to school for, photography, they're going to probably say, our photo pass photographer, how's that sound?
Yes, there's definitely, I have seen, like, it's very mixed. Some people will say that there's no rhyme or reason to how you get placed now, but I have seen a lot of things, and I kind of have a hunch that that is the case. I've seen people who are majoring in photography or videography, and they got photo pass.
Photo pass, right.
I am a hospitality management major, and that's what my degree is in. So I think that's why I ended up getting placed in a resort, which I'm excited about, because I love the hospitality industry.
It sounds like you're going to be in a role that really works for you, which is, I think, what Disney's probably going for with that. That's very, very exciting. Now, thinking about the college program itself, I know that there are special activities that happen for the college program. Participants. Do you know more about that now, or we'll probably
I
find out
know a
later?
little bit that
Okay.
I've seen just from people that I've followed that have done the program in the past, that they will have like special nights. There was one that happened just about a month or so ago at Animal Kingdom that the entire park shut down and it then reopened just for college program participants.
Really?
So you had the whole park to yourself. They had food for free. All the rides were open and you're just in the park with just all program participants. So I'm very excited. I definitely want to take advantage of like all those different opportunities that they have.
That's very, very cool. No, I've seen some of the special things that they do, and I remember, I think it was a couple of years ago. Remember they did this yoga just for cast members, like in Magic Kingdom, it's like 4 in the morning. Like I know they have that for Run Disney, and so. Well, actually, speaking of that, now that you're here, I know we keep coming back to the living in Florida part, but it's the part that
There's so many things when you move. There's so many different topics to cover. Yet.
Run Disney.
I have, you know what? I have never done a marathon or never done any type of 5K or run in my life. I love, jogging and exercise. It's something that living here, I now actually want to get more into because back home I always had to go to the gym and, drive to the gym and go. But I'm like, now I live in Florida, I can go outside and actually train and run outside. So I'm very excited about that. And with that, actually recently seeing your vlog and your podcast on Run Disney, I'm like, I think I got to do this. I think that would be really fun too.
Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate. It's one of those things, anyone can do it. I'm telling you, there's no requirement for training for these. You can just go and have a good time. You know that I did the last 5K with an injury. Like I was like totally fine and it worked out just fine. And it's one of those things that it's literally for everyone. Not saying the 10, half, and full marathon are for everyone. I'm not saying that. I could not
It's something to work up to.
Right, you work up to that. But the 5K is literally for the whole family. And it's well worth it. It's not even about the running. Yes, the running's important, but it's more about the family dynamic that we keep talking about. Like everyone is there to, get that achievement, to reach a goal together.
You're hanging out with friends, you have your little crew, and I'm so excited for the characters too. I think that's really cool.
Yes.
Like just the different, and I think it's cool seeing how they set up the courses as well.
Yes.
Like
You go through Magic Kingdom.
You did Wine and Dine
I did Wine and
in
Dine,
Epcot,
yes.
and it looked like Epcot had like different decorations, like special for on the course.
Oh, for the characters, like where they were, like some of the characters who were standing. Yeah, that was really cool. That's really
awesome.
cool, and some of the things you get to see, especially I have never done anything more than the 5K, but from streams I've seen, from videos I've seen, the 10, the full, and the half all have like unique routes, and you're going through underneath Cinderella Castle in the morning, like before it even opens.
Which one is that Cinderella Castle?
I think it's the half and full. I don't think the 10 goes through. I'm pretty sure it's just the half and full that go through underneath Cinderella Castle. I'm gonna work up to the half. I'm gonna work up to it, but it's one of those things that it's definitely worth it. The Castaway Key 5K is also one that you can do pretty easily. It's not hard. Yeah, you can do it pretty easily. But
I imagine everyone's like very relaxed at that one because everyone's on like their vacation mode.
Wait till you get to Castaway Key, you're gonna love it. I'm telling you, it's an amazing. So you've been to Coco Key though? I have. I've been to Coco Key, which is Royal Caribbean's private island, and it was amazing. They recently redid Coco Key like about. Oh my goodness, when did I take that cruise? It was in 2019, so and it had just opened, so around that time, very, very recent, and it was amazing. And it's divided up into 2 sections. There's the thrill side and the chill side. So the thrill side is like all these huge water slides, and it's this immaculate water park. And then you have the chill side, that's where I was, with just like relaxing on the beach. They have like all these just private like coves and lagoons that you can discover and go lay out there and just enjoy the day. And it was amazing. The one thing I have heard about Royal and some of the other cruise lines, I know you've tried them, is that they charge in a different way that Disney does. Maybe they're less expensive when you first book them, and then you can purchase what you want when you're there, unlike Disney where it's a higher price and then you get more included. Did you notice that? Especially at Coco Key, I heard that most things are not included. You have to pay for. Okay. There is, I want to say that there was one restaurant, like that was a quick service style restaurant. Yes. I believe they had one there on the island. I can't swear to that, but I'm pretty sure that it was there. It would make sense. But it really, definitely the food quality at those is not stellar. And so I think that's why you really do, they want you to pay for the upcharge restaurant. So there's a lot more that, if you really want the full out vacation experience, I could see how with doing a royal ship, yes, while it's cheaper up front, you do have all those costs. If you're we'd rather, instead of going to the standard
dining. We want to go to, you know, one of the exclusive restaurants with the really good, which I did try when I was on my one royal cruise. I tried one of it was the steakhouse, I believe. And
so you don't do you need a reservation for it?
We walked like right up, so we were able to get in without a reservation, which was very nice. And there was actually a lot of open tables when we were there. So I think there's like usually the option that you can walk up, but definitely if you want to check it out, I would recommend having a reservation. But we were able to just go right up, and the food was incredible at those sit-down restaurants.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a 3-course meal. I'm trying to remember what I had, but I just remember everything was amazing.
That's amazing. That's something I'm looking forward to trying in the future for sure.
Yes.
100%. Now, have you ever been to the opening of, I'm going to say, an attraction or a land before?
I have. So back in 2019, my very first land opening was Galaxy's Edge here in Walt Disney World, and that really, the big thing that was like on my mind that whole time, and I know you had recently I remember watching your vlogs back then, you had like just moved to Florida in that time period. And I remember thinking to myself like, oh my gosh, maybe one day, you know, that can be me. Like, you know, that you get to have the experience of living here.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, when something new happens, you just get in the car and plan to be there for that day. So that was my very first time getting to actually experience in person a land opening. And it was just like this thrill and energy in the air. And similar to the 50th anniversary this year at Walt Disney World.
That was so fun.
That was so fun. You just the whole day felt like that community aspect, and like everyone was just excited and happy to be there. Yeah.
It's a ton of fun. I'm glad you've experienced it before. It is well worth doing again. It's something that it's hard to beat. It's hard to explain that energy. It's magical.
It's amazing. So what's our next one going to be? Guardians summer.
It said spring originally, and now it says summer. So I guess it's just summer, but it's still going to be great.
Time's moving fast, though.
It's moving fast. It is moving fast, but you know, you always like walk through Epcot, see the construction updates.
Like,
it's awesome.
It can open, yeah.
I mean, I'm looking for apparently the largest indoor roller coaster in the United States, in the world.
I think I've heard that too. Yeah, it looks amazing. That and Tron, and I'm excited also just for all of like Epcot's expansion to open. Like it's crazy how much of it has just been walls back in there, you know, for the longest time. So I can't wait to get to see that. I really was hoping that. Do you remember back in the 2019 D23, they released the concept art for like the 2-tier festival center, and then that got scrapped. I keep like holding out hope that is going to come back, because I would love that. That would be amazing. I would love it too. I don't think it is. I know it got scrapped, and here's the thing. This is what I think about it. Some things you can't control. Obviously, Disney's gotta look at the numbers and all that. But it's one of those things that. Yes, we don't have it now, but maybe that means that when Epcot gets another refresh in maybe 20 years, it could be even better than that, right? They have better technology, they have better engineering strategies, all that. You know, that maybe it's even better. I like that way of thinking.
You know what I mean?
Yes,
so it's like, and Epcot kind of got it twice. There was a first one that they had that didn't quite go the way they wanted. This is the next one after 20 or 30 years. And so, yeah, it's true that we didn't get exactly what we wanted, but we got some cool things. So I'm looking for. Are you ready for the train to be back, by the way, at Magic Kingdom?
Yes, I can't wait. When was the last? I was actually thinking about this the other day, being in Magic Kingdom. When was the last time it was operational?
I heard it was 3 years. It has felt more like 5.
It has, yes. Why does it seem like it was
3.
longer?
Somebody said 3 to me. I'm like, really? Like, it feels like it's been 5 years easily, but I don't know.
It definitely passed, like, I don't think it was open in 2019.
No.
No, so it had to be 2018.
I guess, but I guess that would make sense. Because then, that's right, they had the Tron announcement. They had 19, so it was, I guess it wasn't 18. I almost forget what it's like to ride the train around Magic Kingdom.
I know. It's going to be amazing. I don't know if I'm more excited for Tron or
you know what I mean? Oh gosh. And I think that's a real. Okay, so here's the big question. If they open at the same day, same time. Same day, same time. You can only ride, because this is going to be too easy for me to say, but let's make it harder. You can only ride one for the whole week. For the whole week.
I have to say the train though, because that's the quintessential Disney to me. Like I've missed it for so long.
It's been painful, and I'm just glad. I mean, look, Tron's gonna be great. Looking forward to it. It's gonna be a fantastic attraction. But it's one of those things where it's a big part of Disney. Like we forget what it was like to hear the whistle first of all, and to just ride around. And let's say your legs are dead, like right by Big Thunder Mountain. You're like, okay, so I gotta walk all the way back to
Main Street.
Right, instead you just take the train. Like I am all for the train. I'm looking forward to the train. It's gonna be great.
It's just like relaxing. It's similar, like the train for me is similar to the people mover.
Yes,
It's
yes.
that, and I know you also are a people mover
Huge
person.
people
I
mover
love the
person.
people mover.
Yes.
It's like, that's just relaxing to me. It's that little break in the day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Was it the first ride you went on when you, I think I saw your video. Is it the first ride you went on when you arrived as a Floridian?
Yes, it
okay.
was.
Yes.
My very first ride that I went
knew
on
it.
was the People Mover.
That's
And
awesome.
Yes.
Let's see, you get to hold on. I forgot what mine was. I think it was People Mover, but I can't
Oh, was
remember.
it? There you
think
go.
it
That's
was.
like the thing you do when you move to Florida. It has to
yeah.
be People
People
Mover.
Mover first. It's an amazing attraction. I'm glad it's there. I'm glad it's around.
I hope it never goes away.
Let's hope. Disneyland lost theirs, so we're hoping.
No. And that's what I would love for them to bring that back to. Every time I'm in Disneyland, I look up at that and I'm like, if they would surprise us
Yeah.
with that,
Yeah.
I mean, the track's still there. They would just need to, I know they ripped it up because they did that
Right.
rocket rods or whatever it was years ago, but if they could
It's right
bring
there.
that back, I mean, you just got to lace a new track.
Right. How hard
I
is
think
that?
as if it's so easy.
Yeah, right.
I'm sure
Yeah,
there's
you-
more things. But
tens of thousands,
they could
hundreds
do,
of thousands.
Disney can work their magic.
Oh,
into
sure,
it.
of course they can. And I'm sure, I'm hopeful that someday when you're in charge of something, you say, all right, People Mover Disneyland, let's do it.
Priority straight.
Priority,
I'll call you up,
100%.
Michael. What do we got to put?
There you go. They call me. Hey, come on, let's make that happen. I gotta tell you, this has been an amazing discussion. I've learned a lot about the college program. I've refelt the feelings of moving to Florida. And I know you're gonna love it. I'm telling you right now. It's different. There is a change that happens.
There is, yeah.
And you probably already felt it. But it's a positive, trust me. And there's moments where it's like, oh, wait a minute, but trust me, it's 100% worth it. It's amazing. I
Thank
love
you,
it.
Michael. That makes me feel very good.
Oh, yeah.
I can already tell that I'm going to love it here, and I'm so excited to start working. And yeah, thank you for having me. This has been amazing. It's so fun just getting to sit down and chat. And
Always. And I
chat
want to hear about the program once, maybe at the end. We'll do another one of these and we'll talk about your experience. Okay, that does sound like a lot of fun.
I'll
Thank
give you a
for
recap.
No, we want to hear it. And maybe we'll hear it as it's happening. Tell us about your channel. Tell us where we can find these, as you're going through the experience. We're going to want to hear live. We'll get the full thing at the end, but where do we find you online?
Yeah, so my YouTube channel is Magical Meg, and then I'm also on Instagram. My Instagram is at Magical Meg Vlog on Instagram. But yeah, YouTube, that's where I post all of my videos about my vlogs from the park. I'm also posting documenting my journey of my move as well as my college program, and yeah, getting to kind of preserve all those memories.
And you captured the little nitty gritties too. Like you were capturing the small pieces that sometimes some people miss. I missed. And my moving, I'm like, oh gosh, Meg got all the little pieces here. So it was really, really good. So I'm glad.
Thank you.
Looking
I
forward to seeing more of them. Be sure to check out Meg's videos on YouTube. Awesome. Keep creating content.
Thank you.
Huge shout out to our patrons for making all the content possible. It means a tremendous amount to be able to share it with you. Meg, thanks again. Looking forward to talking with you more in the future.
Thank you, Michael. It's been great.
All right. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. See you real soon.